Hi, this is John from Proper Coils, and today we're going to have a look at the Wismec Reuleaux RXG kit. So this is the Reuleaux RXG kit from Wismec. This was sent on to me by Daredevil over on Instagram. I'll stick his Instagram tag here on the bottom. Make sure you go over and give him a follow. So on the side here we have the Wismec social media. On this side, nothing. On this side, we have the fact that it's an 18650 device. It has AST tech mode, which is a dry hit protection mode. So if your coil is about to go dry and give you a dry hit, the device will recognize that and not fire. It has AI tech, which is their version of a smart mode. So when you put in your coil, it will detect the resistance and give you a recommended wattage, but you can adjust it to suit. And it is USB Type-C charging. On the back then we have the contents of the box. So you have your mod, you have a RXG tank, USB Type-C charging cable, spare parts, 2 coils. Now the coils that came with this, one was a 0.2 and one was a 0.5. On the box it states 0.15 and 0.3. I don't know if that's this is a sample box and the contents are different, or if you buy now from a shop, which set of coils it will. But any other reviews I've seen, they had the 0.2 and the 0.5 coil. So I think this is incorrect. It comes with 2 user manuals and 2 warning cards, and then that's the specs of the device. So it's a 100-watt device and it is 4.7 mil capacity with the tank. So we'll open her up. You have Wismec. And in the box here you have an Iron Man theme, or what looks like an Iron Man theme device. This comes in 3 different variations, 3 different colors, so I'm going to put those up on the screen now. So it comes with your mod, your tank, and a spare glass. We will take this all out and see what's on the bottom. So it comes with a spare straight glass, so there's no bubble glass. On the bottom we have your Type-C charging cable. We have one coil I've used already, the 0.5, so today we're going to use the 0.2. It's in the device. I'll show that when I open up the tank. This is a battery warning device, how to making sure you don't use Tor batteries in your device, which is good. This is a AI tech card which explains how AI tech work and AST works. So your dry hit protection and your smart mode, that'll explain all that for you. You have a warranty card and a user manual for your tank and a user manual for your device. So that's all that stuff. We'll go through the tank first. So we'll zoom it in. So this is just a regular stock coil tank. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too innovative or different from a normal regular sub-ohm tank. So you have an A10 drip tip and its O-rings on the outside of the drip tip, which I don't like. Your opening mechanism, you have an arrow here at the front and you push. Now it's a bit stiff, which is probably a good thing, so it's not going to open in your pocket when you're using it. And there's no locking mechanism when it's closed. So I know some devices have a pull up and push, which I think is better. But this is just a basic sub-ohm tank, so it's not going to have anything fancy like that on it. And yeah, so push to fill, pop your juice in there. It's a good large kidney hole to fill your tank, which is good. And close that up. On the bottom here, to get at your coil, this piece turns off, your bottom base turns off. On the bottom as well you have CE and don't vape in a bin. And installed here is your 0.2 coil, so it's 50 to 80 watts and it is a mesh coil. I'll pop that out. The coils are very stiff to get it in and out. This is a mesh coil, you can see there. It doesn't tell you what it's made of. I'm presuming it's usually Ni80 or stainless steel, but it doesn't actually say on the coil or the packaging. So to get your coil in, line up there's two sort of tabs on the side there, line up the flat sides of the coil and give it a good press. Now this is stiff. You can see there's still a gap. You have to give it like a proper push down to get it sealed. So that's it sealed back up. And just close your bottom cap to tighten it all up. 510 connection, don't use this on a hybrid mechanical device because it's a floating pin and it can move and create a hard short between your threads and your pin. So don't use a sub-ohm tank on any mechanical device would be my advice. And yeah, that's basically it. Just your bog standard sub-ohm tank. Your airflow is locked. So it goes one way, it's Cyclops both sides, and you open it, close it, and it locks. So it doesn't spin the whole way around. That's basically it. Nothing else with the tank. So we'll go through the device. So here we are. The first thing I'll say is the RXG is upside down. So just say you have your device standing up. The branding here on the side looks like it's upside down, which is a bit odd. If it's sitting on the side, I suppose it's not, but yeah, to me it looks upside down. On this side you have a Wismec, and on this side you have 2021, and same on this side. You have a grill here, what I think is aluminium. It's a very light device, so I presume the body is aluminium. On the top here you have your 510, and it takes it up to a 26mm tank, and your battery tube is a push and flip jobby. You have your minus indicator here. You have no indicator on the bottom. This could have had a little white or black mark to make sure it's more visible. It's not, especially with the gold base, it's not that easy to see. So you have your battery venting around the bottom of the contact here. So we'll pop in an 18650 and close her up. It seems fairly solid, but these doors do after time eventually start getting a bit flippy and floppy and start not closing or opening randomly. On the front here you have a locking mechanism, which is good. The only con I'd say is the fact that I don't know if this is just me, but in my head, if I see a lock sign, which is there in front of you, so you have your lock sign, in my head would presume that's locked, but that's actually not locked. So to lock it, you push up, that shows an unlocked sign, and then it's locked. So I think they've got that backwards. It should be the other way around. Now maybe that's just the way my brain works, I don't know, but for me, if I'm seeing an open lock, to me it should be open now, but it's not. It's the opposite, so I don't know, a bit strange. Anything else on the outside? So yeah, so you have this. Before I go through the board, I want to show you the tube. So you have these removable tubes, and you can buy different designs. They just stick your finger in and pull out, and it pops out. This has LEDs on it, which I'll show you now in a sec. But these are designed differently, and there's different things that light up when you hit the fire button. It will show you different designs through the LEDs. This will go in one way, so you need to twist it until it clicks into place. Okay. So that's it back in. So we'll put a battery in and I'll show you how the lights work. So put your battery in, the lights up. I will turn it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wismec, the gears turn, and there's your screen. So to get your lights working, you hit the fire button and it lights up. Wismec lights up on the sides, and RXG lights up on this side, and then your design on your tube lights up here. And you can change the colors. We'll go through that when we go through the board. Your fire button is nice and big, and it's very clicky, which I like. It's the button feels very nice. This is like a mirror finish here, which has your LED behind it, which lights up when you hit your fire button. And the same on this side. And then your up and down is hidden away behind this mirror finish little panel on the bottom. So yeah, there's your up and down. So up and down and your fire, that is your options. So we'll put the tank on and we'll go through the board so you can see how it's reading the resistances. Okay. So here is your board. So you have up and down to change your wattage. To get into your mode setting, you hold up and down. And that will let you cycle through the different modes. So the first mode is AST, which is your dry hit protection. And you can turn this on or off. So red is your option. And we'll hit yes, so that's on now. And you can see AST is showing on the screen. And hold up and down again. Go to AI, which is your smart mode. So again, you can turn that on or off. So we leave that actually off. Hold again. You can change your colors. So white, red, green, blue. Loop is a... I'll actually turn it on and show you. Loop basically loops through all the different colors, but it doesn't turn off unless you actually turn the mod off. So if you're not using your device, it's in your pocket, it's going to be flashing on and off, which is a bit... For me, not something I'd have. Maybe some people like that, but it's not something I'd use. So we'll turn the loop off. So hold your two buttons together, hit color, and we leave it on white, which is probably the easiest to see. Hold again. Next screen, you have your pop counter. So you go in there and you can reset your pop counter. This is your ID check. ID check is your version of your device, and the bottom is exit and back to the main screen. So up and down, there is no wattage, or sorry, there is no voltage mode, temperature control mode, or bypass mode. It's just a wattage device. So it's 100 watts max. There is no round robin, and it moves in 1 watt increments. And on the top, you can see it's reading your resistance. On the top right here, it tells you your battery percentage, your wattage, your seconds that you hit the device, and your puff counter. That is it. So it's fairly basic. Couple of little things in there which you can change the colors and stuff and reset your puff counter. Nothing too fancy. Something that a newer vapor would find no problem using. So that's the mod, the tank, and the board. So let's bring it back up top and we'll go through the pros and cons of the Wismec RXG kit. So we're back up top with the Reuleaux RXG kit from Wismec. So cons first. The fact that it takes a lot of pressure to get your coil into the tank is a bit of a pain. It's not a major thing, but it's something you really need to press hard down on it to get it to sit properly, to get your base back on and get it all back together. The fact that the battery door is one of those floppy doors, it flops out. It's working fine at the minute, and there's no issues at the minute, but 100% after a bit of use, after a bit of up and down and put it on your table and back up and just general use, it's going to start opening. It's going to start loosening. The mechanism's going to loosen eventually over time, and it's going to start opening randomly, which I've seen with a lot of mods. So I think they should have had maybe a screw bottom or a press and turn fitting on the bottom for your battery. So that's definitely going to be a con. The fact that the RXG signage on the side is upside down, in my opinion. If you're standing straight up, you can see there that the RXG is upside down. If you have it here, it's upside down. If you have it here, it looks okay. That's a bit of an oversight on their behalf. The fact the biggest con for me is the fact that it's 18650. I think nowadays companies should realize that everyone, or 99% of the people who want a 21700, they can't even justify it with this because they're pairing it up with a coil that is using a coil, or pairing up with a stock coil tank that's using a coil that's for 60 to 80 watts. So an 18650 is not going to last very long with this. If it was paired up with a mount-to-lung stock coil at like a 1 ohm, with a 1 ohm coil, and you were hitting it at like 12 watts, 15 watts, fair enough. but they're not matching. The kit is not matching. The coil is not matching the mod, in my opinion. It definitely should have been 21700. And size wise, making it 21700 is not going to be. It's not going to be massively larger than it is at the minute. A couple of milli either way, and it wouldn't have taken away from the looks, because I do like the looks. The signage on the lock, now I don't know if that's the way my brain works. Maybe my brain works differently from everybody else, but in my opinion, at the moment the mod is firing, so I hit the button and it's firing, and it's showing a locked lock. So if I flick that up, it's showing an open lock. So in my opinion, that should be ready to fire now, but it's actually locked. So I think they have the signage on the lock button incorrect, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong with that, I don't know, but in my opinion, they have. The fact that it's a wattage only device is a con. It can also be a pro depending on how much experience you have. If you're a hobbyist vapor and you've been vaping for a while, it's a con. There's no bypass mode, there's no voltage mode, there's no temp control mode. You have just wattage mode. If you're brand new to vaping and this is one of your first kits, it is probably a pro, but for me, it leans more to being a con. The other main con for this is the tank. The tank is not good. The flavor's not good, in my opinion. The fact that it's stainless steel coils, I personally don't like vaping on stainless steel. I don't make stainless steel coils for the website. I think there's a funny taste. It takes a bit of bedding in. You can't bump the wattage up too high, or you're going to get a funny taste of it. For temp control, fine. I think, to be honest with you, it's probably one of the worst stock coil tanks I've used in a long time. The flavor isn't good. There's a funny taste of it, and it just doesn't vape good. It's noisy, and the recommended wattage for me doesn't seem high enough. I'm using it at 80 watts at the minute, and it's a really cold vape. There's no heat there whatsoever. If I bump that up to 90 watts even, all that does is increase the metallic taste, and it doesn't even increase the heat from it. There's no heat, there's no nice flavor off that. If you're buying this as a kit, I'd be looking at something else. If you're buying it just for the mod, fair enough. The tank is, I wouldn't even use the tank if I was buying this kit. I might try it once and then I'd never use it again. Right, on to the pros. The fact that it's top fill is good. The kidney hole is nice and large when you use your slidey mechanism. It's a stiff slidey mechanism at the top, which is good, so it's not going to open in your pocket. The fact that it's 5ml capacity with the straight glass is very good. You don't need an ugly bubble glass to have 5ml capacity, which is good. The fact that the looks of it and just the fit and finish is decent. The looks is very good. I like the way it's something different. I like the way it's something different, and it's not your regular looking mod. It's something a little bit funky. The LED lights for me are a pro. They're not too much in your face. The light that comes on at the side, the RXG, and the light here on the top is good. It's not too overbearing. You're not going to be seen across the street when you vape and someone wondering what's going on over there. It's just subtle and it's nice. The fact that you can swap out the tube is a good thing. You can customize it so you can buy different tubes, and this one has like a stripy red, white, black effect. You can buy one with a monkey on it. You can buy different things. Which is definitely good. Any customization on mods, I think, is a good thing. The fact that it has a lock button, not a lot of mods have a lock button, I think that's a good thing. And the fact that it has a large clicky fire button is a good thing. Overall, the mod isn't bad. Just the fact that it's not. If it was 21700, and he just discarded, forgot about the tank, and just took the mod on its merits. I think it's a very good mod. It just the fact that it's an 18650 for me is a big con and a big letdown. If they bring this out on its own in a 21700 version, I think it'd be ideal. Will I use it in the future? I probably won't, just because I have a few 21700 devices. For example, the one here beside me, I have the Ascent 21700, and I use that with a mounted long tank, and it'll last me a day and a half without even having to worry about changing the battery. Whereas this, I don't think it's going to last as long. So that was the Reuleaux RXG kit from Wismec. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you like what I'm doing, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And if you are looking for any handmade coils, make sure you head over to propercoils.com. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.